Fox News contributor Byron York with a new piece for the Washington Examiner. The headline reads, "Why Trump is Right on D.C. Crime." He joins us now. The defenders of the city and those who don't want President Trump to, bring in federal authorities, federal troops, et cetera, are saying, look, the crime isn't as bad as it used to be. We're getting this under control. So is the president right to still be sending in federal forces, Byron?
Well, it's just not the best argument. First of all, in just basic legal terms, the president has the authority to do what he's been doing. The Constitution gives Congress complete authority over the District of Columbia. And then in 1973, Congress passed a law which gave the district home rule, but it also kept authority for Congress, and it gave the president the authority, if he deems necessary, to basically take over law enforcement in the city. So the president has the authority to do what he's doing. So now you have Democrats saying, well, gee, crime was going down. This wasn't necessary. But crime was going down from some really serious spikes during the pandemic time. It's still actually a pretty serious problem. And I think if you talk to people in the District of Columbia, it is a real quality of life issue here. They are afraid of being robbed, mugged, assaulted, carjacked, or killed.
I saw one interesting thread on X yesterday. Somebody wrote in and said, hey, D.C. isn't as bad as the president is making it out to be. Let's all share what a great city we have. And the respondents listed a bunch of crimes that they have either been victims of or witnessed in the streets. It went exactly opposite of the way the original author intended.
Not a surprise. As a matter of fact, there was a story in the Washington Post where one resident of a neighborhood was talking about gangs that had come into his neighborhood and made trouble, trying to break in cars, things like that. And this person was afraid to give his name for fear of retribution. And he was saying that, Donald Trump is wrong, but there's a really serious problem here that needs to be fixed. So what Trump has done, the kind of brilliance of what Trump has done, is it's put Democrats in a position of either going along with him and then trying to reduce crime in the district, or basically kind of speaking out in favor of the status quo, which is a serious crime rate in the District of Columbia.
Yeah, so they are, his opponents, his political opponents, are afraid of handing him an issue that he can actually win on, right?
Yeah, this is another one of those issues like the border where people it's a lopsided issue. There's an enormous amount of support for criminal enforcement. It's true in the district. The idea of the federal government should not have control over the city. It's just kind of a pipe dream because that's not the way the Constitution has it. We just saw this lawsuit, which you just heard someone saying it was a real victory for the district. What it means is the president can control what the police department does. He just has to tell the mayor to do it, and then the mayor has to do it. So there's one step it inserted in there, but basically the president's control is unchallenged here.
The attorney general, who has been, very tough on crime, is issuing a warning to sanctuary cities across the country about cooperating with the federal government. Listen.
I just sent sanctuary city letters to 32 mayors around the country and multiple governors saying you better be abiding by our federal policies and with our federal law enforcement, because if you aren't, we're going to come after you. And they have I think a week to respond to me. So let's see who responds and how they respond. It starts at the top, and our leaders have to support our law enforcement.
We heard, Karen Bass, the mayor of Los Angeles, decrying the fact that, President Trump had dared to send federal troops into Los Angeles to quell all of that rioting. It is going to be interesting to see what kind of responses Pam Bondi gets back, Byron.
Well, this is almost an article of faith in so many blue cities and jurisdictions around the country that they forbid their police department from cooperating with federal authorities and enforcing immigration law, even if you're dealing with criminals who are in the country illegally. And what's interesting is we were just talking about the District. The District of Columbia is one of those sanctuary jurisdictions, and now you basically have federal control over the police department, and the feds, Pam Bondi, are saying, well, the district is no longer a sanctuary city. So we're going to see how that works, at least for the next 30 days. Immigration enforcement is likely to change dramatically in the city.
You end your article in the Washington Examiner writing, people, the political representatives will oppose Trump for trying. In the process, they will become almost protective of their crime rate now that Trump is threatening it. That is crazy. And it is. But that's where we are, right?
It is crazy, but that's kind of what has happened. And so this is also with the border area, because you have so many people, Democrats speaking out in favor of essentially crossing into the United States illegally. And in the district, you have a crime rate that's just very, very hard to defend. So it's hard to say, well, we're really arguing for the principle of the thing, that the city ought to be able to control itself, when in fact we know that the city, which has a very progressive government, has not been taking any serious anti-crime measures in recent years.
Byron York. Byron, thank you.
Thank you, John.
Let's see what happens.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.